So as y'all may know, the TikTok ban is looking like it's gonna go through, and we're gonna touch on this topic because I'm an influencer, I'm a content creator. I have 1.2 million followers on my TikToker, and I just want to give my 2 cents on the matter. So I'm gonna bounce back and forth, and we're gonna look at this. It's crazy because I think it's a lot bigger than just it being a ban, but we're gonna talk about it. So the Supreme Court on Friday heard arguments in TikTok's energy. I said energy. I can't read. I just woke up. Take my time. TikTok's emergency appeal seeking to block a federal law from going into effect that will ban the popular videos app unless Chinese parent ByteDance sells its stake. So basically what that means is they want someone to adopt TikTok in the US instead of it being controlled or by China, basically. And the main argument that's being given here, or that's been given for the past, couple months, years at this, because it's been like TikTok has been facing a potential ban for some time now, is that they say it's a data and privacy issue, which I could agree with to some extent. But I really think it's like, hey, man, this app is in our country, and we don't have no kind of control over it. And they can't control the information that's going in and out of it. I feel like that's the biggest problem that they're having, but they're labeling it as a data and privacy issue. I can see that point as well, but I really think it's like a method of like, hey, we can't control this, so we can't allow that on our land. Okay, let's keep reading. TikTok and ByteDance argued that the law set to take effect January 19th. I should have probably did some goddamn reading before I did this video. TikTok and ByteDance argued that the law set to take effect January 19th, that is like in 8 days, violates First Amendment rights of its 170 million users by categorically banning the platform unless ByteDance divests ownership. That's what I just said, okay? But while several Supreme Court justices acknowledge that the law raises free speech issues, and that's the thing as well, like, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what social media has become over the years, especially like the censorship, like YouTube, especially with YouTube, like you can't say certain things on the internet without your videos getting demonetized. If you curse too much and this, that, and the third, it will get demonetized, and it's like, it's been very strict because, advertisers on the platform and just like a whole other slew. Again, it's a whole control of information as well. Like if you talk about the certain things and you touch on touchy topics, you know what I mean? You would get a ban. Your shit is gonna get banned. I'm not gonna lie. But let's continue. I don't know if y'all paying attention to things like that, especially on Instagram. There's a lot of censorship. That has happened within the past couple of years. But hey, I digress. But while several Supreme Court justices acknowledge that the law raises free speech issues, a majority of them, through their questions and comments during the hearing, indicated that government's national security concerns were a prevailing matter at hand. I can understand that as well. The law doesn't say TikTok has to shut down. Justice Amy Barrett says during the hearing, it says ByteDance has to divest. The company's ownership stakes is in the app. Chief Justice John Roberts expressed a similar perspective, saying Congress doesn't care about what's on TikTok. That's cap. But okay, they don't care about the expression that's shown by the remedy. They're not saying TikTok has to stop. They're saying China has to stop controlling TikTok. Didn't I say that at the very beginning of the video? Like it's something that they can't control, and they're like, nah, we don't want that here. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand that because it's a Chinese app. I get that, but I feel like it's way bigger than that. Knowing how everything is like, if something gets too, like, if they don't have their hands in the pot as well, they don't like that. They gotta have their hands and be able to control every single string of whatever they have in America. You know what I mean? Noel Francisco, a lawyer representing TikTok and ByteDance, said during Friday's hearing that TikTok in the U.S., at least I understand it, would go dark if the law goes into effect. Essentially, the platform shuts down. Francisco. I want to see what that looks like. Not that I want this to happen, but like, I've never seen I can't think of an app that has went dark the way that TikTok is about to experience that. And a part of me feels like this is not going to happen, but we'll see. Supporters of the law, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversity, that's a word right there, Control Application Act, have claimed it is not a ban because it offers ByteDance a choice to divest TikTok's U.S. business or be shut down. In addition, proponents of the law saw, God damn, I cannot read today. In addition, proponents of the law say the U.S. government has long-standing rules about foreign ownership of companies across a variety of industries. TikTok and ByteDance have argued that in reality there is no choice presented by the U.S. divest or ban law. The qualified divestitures demanded by the act to allow TikTok to continue operating in the United States is simply not possible. Not commercially, not technologically. Y'all about to fry me in the comments for reading like this. I see it coming. Not legally. They said in their lawsuit challenging the ban. In oral arguments before the court Friday, U.S. Solicitor General Elizabeth Preligor, representing the government, said the divest or ban law does not run afoul of the First Amendment. I think that's cap. There's been again, the censorship within the last 5 to 6 decade really has been insane. Like, you only have, I'm telling you, if you talk about certain things on this platform, on TikTok is way more lenient in regards of what you can and cannot say. They're just more on the cursing and being provocative and just drugs, the typical things that shouldn't be discussed, you know what I mean? But when it comes to information and spreading it, I feel like that's the biggest part that they do not like, because I'll be exposed to a lot of things that go on because of TikTok and because of my interest, you know what I'm saying? And they can't really control that, and that really brings an issue for them, which is why I feel like they're yeah, we got to get rid of this app. They people are starting to become aware, and I feel like that's the problem. I'm not saying there's no data and privacy issues going along with that. I can see that standpoint as well. I'm pretty sure that's an issue as well, but I ain't gonna lie, America does the same thing. We all are being our data is being tampered with every day. Anytime you sign up for social media and you don't read that end of user agreement, your information is being sought out for. That's why it's free to make an account. Okay, this is why when you talk about a Balenciaga or a Gucci bag with your friends on the phone, 5 minutes later you see it pop up on Instagram or Facebook or Google, and you start getting ads. It's because they have your data, bro. This is they know what you like, even down to what your friends, based on your friends and your interests, they know exactly what to push to you. It's because they have that data. In exchange for using their platform for free, because it's not free, you got to give up that data, right? They're gonna have bits and part of you. They know exactly what you do, your behaviors, everything, and it's good for marketing and ads too, because now they know how to manipulate the system and make you feel more enticed to buy something. So it's very powerful. Data is very powerful. Justice Neil, I'm not gonna say his last name, asked Prelogar why the U.S. government would also have concerns over a foreign company owning a U.S. news outlet, citing German media company Axel, not gonna say his last name, ownership of Politico. Prelogar responded that a newspaper is not likely to be collecting sensitive information about 170 plus people and then having the capacity to send that back to a foreign adversary. The court is expected to issue a decision relatively quickly, given the expedited schedule for the case and given the law is set to go into effect January 9th. I just want to see, are they going to uninstall it on all our phones? It would be interesting to see how that all unfolds. What? Are they going to shut it down? We're not going to be able to access it? But how would they do that if it's like I don't know what servers they're on, you know what I mean? Or it's gonna be one of those things where you can't download the app, and whoever has like an Android can probably get an APK or jailbroken iPhone device can just off side load it, you know what I mean? Or if you have the phone on your app, you can only use it like that. You can never, like, if you delete the app, you're kind of finished, you know what I mean? I feel like this ban is gonna cause a lot of uproar, only for the simple fact that like a lot of people lives have changed in a positive manner because of TikTok. I'm talking down to the game, from gaming to personal businesses, brands, everybody. And then given that exposure, it's been utilized to, especially TikTok Shop. Whoever is on the TikTok Shop knows how much money you can make on TikTok Shop, and from the creativity program as well. And to get the exposure that you want to get on like a Twitch, because everyone knows that my content is, most of my audience is geared towards gaming and things of that nature. But yeah, it has a really large effect. So this is not gonna be one of them easy bans without repercussions, I feel like, you know what I mean? But let's continue. Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump has requested that the Supreme Court suspend the law from going into effect on January 19th to allow his administration to pursue a negotiated resolution that could prevent a nationwide shutdown of TikTok, thus preserving the First Amendment rights of tens of millions of Americans while also addressing the government's national security concerns. And yeah, I feel like it is a violation of our First Amendment, but I don't think they care too much, honestly. During his first term, Trump unsuccessfully sought to force a TikTok sale to U.S.-based parties, also over national security fears. At a press conference last month, Trump, when asked about the TikTok ban, said, "I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because of his belief that the app helped drive support for him from younger voters." I'm not going to speak too much on that. President Biden signed the TikTok Divestment ban bill into law on April 24, 2024, after it passed in Congress with solid bipartisan support. U.S. lawmakers have expressed deep concern about TikTok's Chinese ownership, suggesting that the Chinese communist regime could use the app to spy on Americans or use it to promulgate pro-China propaganda. Okay, I can understand that. That's what I spoke about earlier. Like, I understand the national security concern, and that they can see they can see what we're doing over here in the States as well. But it's more to it than just that. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's the only driving force. And they make it seem as if that it is only that. But let's keep going. If the High Court upholds the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit's December 6th ruling siding with the U.S. government, the law will go into effect Sunday, January 19th. The law prohibits Google App Stores, as well as web hosting service from hosting or distributing TikTok in the U.S., unless ByteDance sells its ownership in the app to any party located in a country that is not designated a foreign adversary of the United States. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is, if this goes into effect, you won't be able to get it on app stores, and I guess you won't even be able to access TikTok because the web hosting services will be disabled, right? Since there'll be no hosting or distributing of it. So again, it's kind of crazy, but let's keep going. Beijing-based ByteDance has not indicated that it is exploring that sale of its approximately 40 stakes in TikTok to an entity or investor group that would meet with U.S. approval. If ByteDance did try to sell the stake, such a move could be blocked by Chinese authorities, who have insisted that any such sale will represent a technology export. Man, this is crazy. Y'all let me know how y'all think which way it's gonna go. Will it be banned? Will it not be banned? I feel like TikTok won't get banned, only because of the amount of influence that it has in our country and the uproar that it will bring if it does get banned, because so many people's lives depend on it. And I feel like TikTok allowed a lot of people to find other forms of opportunity outside of like the normal career choice or 9-to-5 route. And I feel like that taking that away from somebody can really, like, cause a lot of discourse within the environment. So there's that, but I can also see the national security and things of that concern that may ultimately harm us if they do keep it, because China will be able to see what we've got going on. But I ain't gonna lie, I think would they have enough information by now if they wanted to do something, they'd probably have more than enough info. At the end of the day, it's kind of hypocritical as well, because they do the same thing to us. They kind of vet our data and use it for their own profit and things of that nature. But that's a whole nother can of worms. I don't want to talk too much on that. And yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts. Do y'all think TikTok will get banned? And yeah, here we are.